Hey, this is Mince Pies Take 2. I've just put together all the ingredients, and let me tell you, hammering is where it's at for the suet. So I took some video footage of that, so you'll see me hammering away. It's gonna be loud. Be ready. I put all the ingredients together. We made it's not citron actually. So actually, I've been meaning to tell you this. So citron is not, as I understand it, it's kumquats and limequats, not or specific citrus fruits, not oranges, lemons, limes. However, I couldn't find any in the store, so we made our own candied orange, lemon, and one grapefruit peel, and it is in the kitchen. You're going to see that whole process. You're going to see the brandying of the raisins and currants. And then after that, I chopped up the apples, the brown sugar, hammered the suet into little bits, which was spectacular, way better than 2 years ago or 3 years ago when I tried to grate it. Worked slick. Highly recommend freezing as hard as you can and then hitting it with a hammer. You also find out where the connective tissue pieces are, which I thought was great. Then I could pick them out and throw them away. Brown sugar, I'm trying to think what else was in there, chopping up the apple. And then I did, which I did not put on camera, I did grate half of a nutmeg into it, because that's what the BBC version of the recipe said. Now, Grayson has strong opinions about the spices. Last time I added cinnamon and mace. I don't think I added any cloves, but I may have added a little bit of cloves. However, they weren't quite right. We think it was too much mace, but not too much cloves and cinnamon. So, and Grayson, I know, wants to add a little cardamom. So I'm going to wait for Grayson to come home and let them decide what it is they want to add into the mince pies mix. And then the jars are in the dishwasher. They will be done by then. And then we're going to put it in the jars and put it away probably until Christmas Eve. Now, we were supposed to do this 2 weeks ago. We didn't, because I wasn't very well. Grayson was working in like a class, had to take a class for her job, and too much. So we're getting to it a week before Christmas. I believe it will be fine. And the mince will last in the refrigerator up to 6 months. So we could have Christmas in July with our mince and see how it tastes. And we may do that. And I've had people keep it longer than that, but I'm not going to. That's where we stand. Next on the agenda is candied orange peel. I have a nice sharp knife. I have my peels from the other night, and I'm going to slice them into slivers as long as possible, but not really worrying too much about it. And we're going to do the first of a couple of boils in water to get the bitter taste out. I've got them sliced up into, I don't know what you call these, matchsticks, I guess is what you'd call it. And I've got that much left to go. Gonna keep going at it though. The chopping is complete, and I'm going to pour it into a shallow pan that I have filled with water. I've got it on simmer right now, but I'm gonna get all these submerged. I might have to add some more water, and I'm gonna simmer them for about 20 minutes, drain them and rinse them, and then simmer them again to get the bitter out. And I can already smell the bitter coming off of this. So I'm going to go get some more water, add it, pull it back up to boiling, and then set it to simmer. Grayson has taken currants, golden raisins, lemon juice, and brandy. And regular raisins. And mixed it all together, and now we're going to let this sit for an hour to plump. The liquid was a little lacking, so we gave it another glug because it made us nervous. We're also because most people don't pay attention to this, because there's lemon juice in here, we're putting this in a ceramic container. Grayson and I can taste anything lemony cooked in metal, and so we're going to avoid it even more cautiously because of the lemon juice. All right, I brought this to a boil, let it simmer for 30 minutes. I strained it. Actually, what I did is I put the sieve over this pan, and I strained out the citrus peel. And then I took the liquid, which was about 3 cups, And I added in 3 cups of sugar. 1 to 1 is craziness, I know, but it must be done. And then I stirred it while I heated it up until the liquid was clear again. And then I poured the citrus back in, gave it another good stir, and now it's going to simmer for 30 minutes again until these, well, it's going to stir for more than 30 minutes, but at least 30 minutes, until the skins are translucent and the sugar is absorbed. And then I'm going to let it cool in this pot, and I'll show you that when it's ready. Now over here, this has been stirred once, and it's still soaking, and it probably will get stirred again with its lemon and brandy concoction. Okay, I just came in after about a half an hour and checked. Let me show you what translucent. See how they're slightly see-through? So I gave it a stir. There were a couple on the top, so I'm rotating those down to the bottom while it cools. I turned off the stove, and I'm going to set it aside and let it cool on the back burner that's not been heated for, well, until it's cool, so probably an hour or 2. Trying to drain as much sugar liquid leftovers as I can. And then I'm just going to sprinkle it. This may take 2 trays. Okay, I'm going to toss it and separate it. That's the goal. Then I may add more sugar because, you know, sugar makes this the best. And then let it all cool. I have peeled and cut 2 Granny Smith apples. The recipe calls for Bramleys, but we don't have Bramleys in the United States yet until I grow some. And I'm slicing them. They say grate them, but I'm slicing them up into teeny tiny matchsticks, but probably shorter than matchsticks, equivalent to what a grating would do. And I'm mixing it in with our raisin mixture. Next, I'm going to add brown sugar and probably more brandy, and then I'm going to bottle it up into 2 jars is probably what this will take, but however many jars it takes. And then there'll be some spices that go into this as well. I'm going to put a link to the recipe we're using below. I'm pretty sure Grayson's going to come home and doctor up the spices a bit, so when we know what those are, I'll put it in the info as well. Okay, the final ingredient with brown sugar, citrus peel, candied citrus peel, apple, raisins, sultanas and currants, and brandy, and herbs and spices is suet. And we got this at our local meat market. You would need to look at your meat market too. It suggests we grate this. I'm at first going to try and break it with some sort of a mallet. That's another way. Last year I put it into the food processor, or 2-3 years ago, whenever it was I last tried to make this, and it was very greasy. So I'm going to try a mallet, and then if that doesn't work, we're going to move on to the grater. Okay, round hammer end, banging away on the frozen stuff through plastic bag is working. Highly recommend the hammer technique. We need, I believe, almost all of this. So I'm going to carry on hammering away and get this mixed together and thrown into the jars that are currently sterilizing in the dishwasher. Not only is this satisfying, it's effective. So, way easier than grating. We'll definitely do this again, if we make this again. And I'm using the flat side, not the round side. It does flatten it a bit, but it's more effective at getting and not slipping off of it. Okay. Okay, I'm going to pour it in with the rest of the pre-crumbled. And we're going to finish this up and then get ready to put in brown sugar and the herbs. All right, that's everything mixed in. The only spices were half of a nutmeg freshly ground, but like I said before, Grayson's probably going to doctor this. So I'm going to leave this now because I don't want to be the one doctoring it. Last year I did and I got it wrong. I did add a little extra brandy because 100 milliliters or 100 grams of brandy just wasn't enough. So I just added probably 25 grams more, or 25 milliliters because that's metric. I kind of fancy doing some extra things with this when we're done. Grayson and David can have plain mince pies, but I may mix in some pecans and sort of fancy up this a little bit, but we'll see. Anyway, for now, this is it. We're done. That is complete. My jars are still in the dishwasher completing. They have like an hour left. So I'm just going to put saran wrap over the top of this and let it sit. Okay, that's it. We're ready to go on the mincemeat. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you're inspired to ever make mincemeat. Remember, it's not meat, it's suet. And everything I read said there never used to be meat in it, but I've had other people say there was. So, don't know. All I know is this is the recipe, suet, and you can get it at your local butcher's, as well as the rest of the ingredients. The only sad part is we had to use Granny Smith's instead of Bramley's because Bramley's are superior. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below. What are you prepping for Christmas? Do you have tried and true family bakes that you always make? Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.